MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. That's Steve Carl. And I got to always remember when I get somebody new, this is the first time I'm interviewing Steve, turn on the recorder first and then start talking. I was making fun of his hair, and he was very manufactured about it. He's hiding his receding hairline by growing his hair out as long as possible.
Yeah.
Why are you growing the hair out? I mean, you said it's been a year, but why are you growing it out? Is there a particular reason? Was it a bet? Is it your girlfriend
Um,
likes it the best? Like, what is it?
I got a lot of friends that grow their hair out, and I've never ever grown my hair out, and I want to do it one time before I'm too old. I don't want to be 50 trying to grow my hair out once.
Yeah, I know. It's people make fun of me because I've been shaving my head since the early '90s, and I have a full head of hair. But I kind of think I have like a really deep widow's peak now. So even if I did grow it back, it'd be really thin up front, and then like it'd be Eddie Munster style way in the back. So now I'm just keeping it shaved out, and I do regret never having grown it out full and long because we never were allowed to in wrestling. We always had to keep a short haircut. Guys like Roy Nelson, who's got this big shaggy beard, and I talked with Daniel Cormier about it that we both agree, Daniel Cormier and I agree, that there should be a hair rule and a facial hair rule in MMA, where you shouldn't be allowed to come out with these big long beards and this long shaggy hair, and that if the rule comes down, it's not coming out by any means or any faction, but if a rule comes down, are you agreeable to something like that, where you would have to keep your hair at a shorter length for the fight? I mean, I'm sure the length you have now is fine, but I'm just asking in general.
Absolutely. I remember when I fought Brett Cooper. He had really long hair. He had a long beard, and when we hit the ground, I was actually inhaling his hair in when his head was close to mine, and I mean, very uncomfortable. Sometimes gets in your way, but you know, I'll have my hair cornrowed up. I think if you have long hair, is fine, but it has to be under control.
That's kind of like what Uriah Faber did when he had really huge, really, really long hair. He just get it cornrowed up every time that he fought. Same thing that you do. It's very smart. It's actually a very clean way of having long hair when you're not competing. How bad is it when you're training? Is your training partners complain about it, or do you have a special way to take care of it when you're training?
Absolutely not. The only person it affects when I'm training is myself because it comes in front of my eyes. But actually, it kind of helps you out. It keeps you focused in on your opponent, and you don't ever focus in on what's right in front of your eyes. You're focusing on what you're attacking.
Oh, that makes sense. So you actually use it as a training aid. When the hair is in your face, it's actually a visual training aid for you.
Yeah, because I don't want to be. If somebody's throwing a punch at me, I don't want to be trying to wipe my hair away from my eyes. You just got to learn to deal with it and keep fighting.
That makes really good sense. I've never thought of it that way. It's good. Well, let's talk about Josh Berkman. He's your opponent coming up on World Series of Fighting #6. This one is on October 26th down in Coral Gables, Florida. Is that right?
Yep, Bank United Center.
Let's talk about Josh first. He had a great victory over John Fitch. Basically, brought Fitch in, gave him a lot of notoriety, a lot of money to come fight for World Series of Fighting. They give him Berkman to make it so it's a named matchup for him. But assuming that Fitch would make it to the finals, and Berkman upsets that teeter, he went in and chokes Fitch unconscious. Does that change your opinion of Berkman as a fighter? Or is it just the same that you saw fights before that he's always got that submission game going?
Um, it didn't really change much in my mind with Josh. I kind of had a feeling Josh was going to win that fight before the fight went down. Just seeing the demeanor of the two fighters, I was in Josh's corner. He was really calm. He was collected. He was ready to fight, and Fitch was amped up. He was nervous. And in any fight, you always go for the calm guy.
Yeah, true. Absolutely correct. The guy that's got a little more patience, a little more calmness when he walks in, does, especially in mixed martial arts, do tend to do a lot better in the fights. Well, break Berkman down for us from your side of the table. Like, how do you see him as a fighter?
I see Bergman as a dangerous fighter. I don't think he's going to be able to keep the pace with me though. He's kind of a slower pace fighter. I'm going to try to get in there and really amp up the pace and keep this fight action packed and keep it going from start to finish.
Let's go back 2 fights ago. Let's talk about Ramiko Blackman. You ended up submitting him by rear naked choke in the first round. What was it like going in against a guy with such a high caliber wrestler and being able to still take his back and be able to put him down and finish him so quickly?
It was good, but I went into that fight with absolutely no worries. I went into that fight knowing, okay, this guy is going to be able to wrestle me, but he's not going to be able to put any damage on me whatsoever. And I knew, even with him on top of me, that I was in the most advantageous position. So I just stayed calm the whole time and, put him in a crucifix, got him in the rear naked, and it was over.
You did make it seem really easily when I watched the tape of that fight. It was almost like, okay, you had conceded in your mind and during training camp, at some point I'm getting taken down. It's just the way this fight's going to work, and how am I going to battle for my back? And you were completely comfortable when he took you down, and were able to, like you said, put the crucifix in and finally get the rear naked choke. Same thing kind of happened with Tyson Steele. Was that same kind of feeling and look that you had? Take us through the Tyson Steele fight real quick. You had the same finish, rear naked choke, a little bit quicker than against Ramiko Blackman. It was like a minute and a half or 2 minutes into the first round, but you still was very, very calm as you were sinking it in.
Yeah, I was really calm with Tyson Steele, but I was a little irritated because this time I was, I showed up. I wanted to fight. It'd been 7.5 months since I fought Ramiko Blackman, and I didn't get much of a fight there. And I was just ready to get in there and put on a good scrap. And I didn't really get to inflict too much damage or get in there and mix it up a whole lot. So I was a little irritated about how that one went down, but I had the same mindset, and it was a breeze. It was easy. I liked it.
Yeah, you're making it look absolutely. The last couple of fights you've made look very, very easy. Berkman's a different kind of breed, though. He's a different kind of animal than the last two guys you fought. This fight's not going to be as easy, but you still have that. At least when I'm interviewing you right now, you seem to have that same calmness about it. The same. Oh, it's easy going. There's no worries. I'm going to get hit. I'm going to get punched. I'm going to get kicked. It's kind of just how the fight goes. Is that part of your training motif, or is that more personality? Do you coaches force that into you to be calm all the time, or is that just how you are as a person, that you're always calm?
That's my own personality. I don't really have coaches. Kind of do my own thing. And the same thing I mentioned about Berkman and Fitch. My last two opponents, they were amped up. They were nervous when they got inside the cage, and I wasn't. Berkman's not going to be that way. He's not going to be amped up. He's not going to be nervous. He's not going to be afraid. He's going to be calm just like me. And I think that's when you're going to get a really good fight.
All right.
When both guys are on the same mental plane and we're both coming in there to do the same thing, and that's destroy each other.
This fight is for the first championship ever in World Series of Fighting. It's for the welterweight title, obviously, but it's the first title that USWF has ever put on, or excuse me, WSOF has ever put on. Is the promotion putting a little bit added pressure on you because it's their first belt, it's the first big time, the first big main event they're going to have for a belt on NBC Sports?
I'm not letting any pressure get to me. The way I'm looking at it is I'm fighting Josh Berkman. It doesn't matter if it's the first fight of the night or the last fight of the night. We're getting a belt for it or what. I'm still getting in the cage with the same person under the same circumstances. All that's just added pressure on the outside. You got to just internalize and see what's in front of you. And what's in front of me is Josh Berkman, and that's it.
All right, Steve, thanks for coming on here with MMA Oddsbreaker. Good luck against Berkman coming up here on October 26th down there at the Bank United Center in Coral Gables, Florida. For you folks at home, you can watch it on NBC Sport. Steve, thanks. It's gonna be a great fight. I'm really happy that this is the first welterweight title fight that they're having for World Series of Fighting. It's well worthy of being the title fight.
Thanks for having me, Frank. It's always good to talk to you.
You got it, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
See you later.